All right, welcome in for our post-match press conference. As always, we'll let Coach make a quick statement, and then we will open it up to questions. So, Coach?
A few thoughts on this game. First of all, I got to give Utah a lot of credit. They were clinical in those two chances they had, and that was tough for us. But I also have to give credit to our group because given this difficulty of this game with, I thought, the inconsistency that was going on with officiating and other challenges we had, our team stayed with it. This is where you have to give this group so much credit. They never gave up, and I think you saw that. In the second half, we were throwing waves of attack at them. We were creating opportunities. Of course, we were going to leave ourselves open from time to time. But even when we went down 2-0, we actually, toward the end of the first half, we got back into a rhythm. I will say that the first 20 minutes, I thought we were going to be up. We could have had a chance there with Carly early on, and then she had another one inside the 6 from across. And that's just that fine line, and it's interesting. Like when anyone asks, what's the difference? I'm like, well, it comes to that. It's just finishing in those areas, but we're getting ourselves into good opportunities and good spots in the field. But I'm going to go back to this more importantly. The team played with so much heart and desire. It's so easy to give up in games like this when so many things are going against you, and I give them so much credit because I adore this group. They fight to the end. And that's very impressive.
All right, thank you, Coach. First hand up is Marissa.
Yeah, just you mentioned inconsistency. It was some of the calls today with Rudy, especially getting her 5th yellow card. Just like how frustrating is that to see kind of some of the inconsistencies in the way that she's called specifically? It's
incredibly frustrating and difficult because, look, as a player and as coaches, you can accept if a certain game's going to go a certain way, and what I mean by the first 15 minutes, we didn't think there's going to be that many fouls because she was letting everything go. We're like, okay, this is the type of game it's going to be. It's going to be a more physical game, so let's prepare, and both teams will adjust to that. And then all of a sudden, then she, some calls were just that we didn't think were necessarily fouls, and then it was just that inconsistency, which makes it very difficult. And then poor Rudy, and I say poor just because, she's... It almost, and I don't know if I could say this, but it almost felt like, she feels like she's targeted. And that's what's frustrating for her because she's playing, and then what defenders do, which is part of the game, is they put a body into forwards. But anytime she does it, for the most part, she gets called, and they don't see that off-the-ball fouls. So that's really her biggest frustration. So when she came to us before that first half, it was certain player, a number. She told me, and I went to talk to the referee at halftime and told him, look, so-and-so is, if you see it off the ball, she's coming to slam into her, and just be aware of that. It didn't really change in the second half, so her frustration built, and, still have to give her credit for also not getting that red card because she's a competitor and she's challenging, and when she sees certain fouls and then her teammates getting called for silly fouls, fouls. Well, not plays that we didn't think were fouls. It's just frustrating. So, it's. I feel for her because she was just going out there and trying to compete and trying to get us a win.
Why do you think she might be targeted specifically?
I don't know if she's being targeted. I just said she feels that way. So because she says she's like, they're looking at me because I'm physical and I'm strong. I'm like, I know, and it's just, you got to call the defenders as well. You can't call the forwards. And especially when she's so strong physically. So it's just, she feels like she can't get it right.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Right.
So, by my count, had about 9 or 10 really good chances today, just unable to connect there with that. I'm gonna go back on what I said the last couple of weeks is that, outside of just a couple of chances that on all of that, this still looks like the team is playing super together, super kind of on point, and maybe for me the best thing I saw today was 55 on the field.
100% in this team playing together and not giving up, and we are playing well. That's 3 games in a row where I think we've played very well, and of course you have your moments, and that's football for you where you might be off, but there are other teams that have taken their chances, and especially Utah did today. But they're playing well. We're playing well, just not getting the result.
Coach, speaking of Penelope, I'm sure it was great for the
It
team
was.
morale just to have her back on the pitch. When you guys are down 2-0 though, and I know she's on a minutes restriction because she's just coming back, but was there any thought of maybe subbing her in maybe after halftime?
No, because she's limited, and we're not going to rush her into it. I need her for the rest of the season. She's so important, as you know. And as a coach, you also sometimes you're going to make an adjustment at halftime and see if those players can step up, which we did in the second half, which was great to see. And then so you give the players an opportunity. And knowing that she was limited, I'm like, okay, then we'll put her in once we kind of settled into the game, which we did in that second half. We're just looking forward and really excited to have her back.
And when you look at the way that the officiating, I'm going to say it was one-sided, and the way it just can frustrate a team, it almost seems like you guys deserve a point just for not exploding and not reacting to the way Utah was playing you guys tonight.
I won't disagree with you. It'd be nice if we would get a point. That's not how things work. But like I said, it was just the inconsistency made it very difficult. And this is a big game for both teams. It's almost like a playoff game for both of us. We're fighting for a playoff spot. And it'd been nice to have a more experienced, officiating squad in there. And but hey, got to move forward. There's not much that we can do now.
Go back, Brian.
If there has been an Achilles heel in the play the last few weeks, it's teams kind of sitting in your passing lanes and not giving the team places to go. Utah, when they were successful tonight in turning over and getting the counters, that's really what they were doing, sitting there and waiting for the passes. How do you kind of rectify that going on when this is kind of been a consistent thing the last couple of weeks? And what do you have to do to start breaking other teams down when they're doing that?
So I don't necessarily agree with that. Maybe the final third pass can be better for us. But so against Gotham, we were actually, especially in that second half, able to play through them. And they're one of the best pressing teams in the league. And Utah was very impressive on how they press, because they'll go high press all over the field, which made it difficult for us to actually play out of the back. And we got much better at it in the second half. But it goes down to the pass that we're missing is more so that final third pass, that final quality pass that just goes into the right seam of the runner coming in, or when we're playing it to a proper foot so a player can take a better shot. And then the crosses, we got into good areas, and then we'd cross it, and the keeper, there's several crosses just went right to the keeper, right? And that's the difference. It's like, okay, can we have a better quality in the service? So for me, it's more of the final third pass, but you have to go back to video and see if that's right.
Yeah, I've also got at, what was it, I think it was 67 and 72, there were chances that really should have been goals for you guys, and just couldn't seem to get them back in. They were kind of miraculous saves. I mean, do you take a little something out of that, or is it just like, man, we gotta figure out to beat?
It's like more we gotta figure it out. We gotta get it in goal, because we've had a lot of games like that where it's like it's so close. I mean, look at the first minute of the game. That ball that Carly got to, it could have easily gone into the goal. And then she had a couple other ones. And then you're right, there was that save where we thought it was going in. And all of a sudden, I think it was the keeper, and then someone heads it out. It was right on the line. I have to go back. And then we've got numbers. And then in their second goal, we collapsed on the player. It bounced, and we had 5 players, but it bounced into the path of the one player they had there. And then she just hit it first time. And that's just like, it's little things, and but we could still do a little bit better before we got to that. And the first goal, we looked at it, and we could have done a better job defending that as well. So we just have to make sure that we get it right from the start to the finish, and that's really what I'm going to ask the team.
Speaking of Carly's shot at 34 seconds, it seems like she hasn't been on the score sheet for a little bit. But it seems like today she looked like she had that confidence back. Like, I'm gonna make these moves. I'm gonna take these shots. I'm gonna try to get this pass in there. Has that been something that you've been seeing growing? And is that why you had her at the center forward today?
Yeah, and last week we did as well, and it's because before that she was in limited minutes for quite some time. She was coming back from an injury and some knee problems, but she's been showing very well at practice, getting stronger, getting healthier, and so yeah, her confidence is growing with every game, and that's something we're excited about.
Christian?
Albertine, how do you plan to approach these Final Four games?
With the same belief that we've had all of these games, where we're going to go out there and still 12 points. Anything happens in this league. Anything can happen, right? And I believe in this group because regardless of the outcome, we'll still get performances out like this. Because I think this is enjoyable for anyone to watch because our team never gave up. And in that second half, we're constantly just going at the team and at the other team. So our approach is we've got nothing to lose. And that's really kind of what we've tried to play all season, easier said than done. But you'll see the energy. This group will not give up. They will not, regardless of where we are. And that's how I'll go into it, is with the positivity until we're like officially like or mathematically eliminated. It's fully. I mean, we're just going at them. We're throwing everything we can at teams. We've got nothing to lose. And again, outside of those 2 goals defensively, I thought we were solid. Let's look at the positive. Brooklyn and Sydney, again, had 2 very good games. Brooklyn, her second game here in the end of ESL, and was outstanding for us. But for the most part, I mean, we were very good. 2 goals and then maybe about 15 minutes in that first half. That's how I look at it, where they were really kind of pinging it. And after that second goal, we lost a little bit of our rhythm and then our shape. And then we gathered it back in the second half, and we just couldn't put the ball away.
Has the end of the season crossed your mind at all?
Not yet.
What's it gonna look like?
Nope. Next game. I'm like 3 points. Let's go. Let's keep enjoying it at our sessions, practices, continue getting better because, it's going to serve them well for next season. But no, right now it's Portland. Let's go, right?
Yep.
Okay. So I don't look too far ahead. It's Portland, and we've played well against Portland. We've had good results against Portland. We can't beat this team. I don't know what it is. It's so bizarre. Utah gives us problems. Portland, one of the best teams, in the past in this league, and we beat them last year. We beat them this year. So Louisville, we've had success against. Carolina, we've had success in. So we've got some of these teams that, for whatever reason, it's we match up well with them. And we'll see. But this team gives us a fits. Gosh. And it's an expansion from last year. But no, it's our players are going to continue just playing because they enjoy it. They care about each other, and they play hard for each other.
Must be that salt water.
All right, thanks everybody. We'll be back
Thanks.
with the players. Marissa?
Yeah, Albertin was just in here and he was a little concerned about the inconsistency of the officiating in this game. I'm just kind of curious for you guys, how do you kind of deal with frustration when calls aren't going your way and just kind of keep in control when yellows are coming up and everything?
Sure. Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate and it's hard to deal with, but it's just one aspect of the game. So at the end of the day, as a player, you can't change the decisions of the refs, so we just have to continue doing our job.
Yeah, and I think you can see it was pretty disruptive to both sides of the team, both sides of the game. And I think just being able to control what we can control, and they finished their 2 chances that they had on goal, and we just need to be more clinical at the end of the day.
Right.
So, in 78, Rudy gets the yellow, and then she's asking to sub off, and I know there was some frustration in there. And Albertine said something to her, and then you said something to her, and then she kind of got it together. Can you kind of give us the gist of where you were talking to her about that, and how you got her back in the game at that point?
I don't think it was me. I think it was Taylor. But
Maybe.
yeah, I mean, Rudy's a passionate player. She puts her heart into it, and so that's just part of the game. The emotions get high, and that's just part of her. And sometimes we just need to take a breath and calm down a little bit. So emotions were high, and then she was able to settle back in and get back in it.
And then Caprice, one of the things that Albertine was remarking about was center backs the last week. Brooklyn and Sydney have been playing like extremely well together, and it seems like it is freeing you and Alyssa up to be able to do a lot more forward. Are you feeling that, and is that something that's making the team, especially on offense, run a little better?
Yeah, I think they fit into our system really well. Albertine, and as a team, we want to be able to play out of the back and be comfortable with center backs on the ball as well as our keeper. So I think with them being able to play with both feet and being comfortable on the ball and moving it side to side is something that we've been working on to just open spaces. And I think that's been relieving like us up top and in the wide areas and opening those gaps. So it is being able to like get in the attack more is awesome.
Martin?
You know, Albertin has mentioned that how Rudy believes she's been targeted by the other teams, you know, center backs and just defensive overall. Is there any way in this sport that you can protect the player when when that's happening to her, when you can see the teams just trying to be extra physical with her? Is there any way to kind of help protect her in that sense or no?
I mean, I think you see it like all around the league. There's players that are like super strong, and it's just part of their game. And I think that, I think the refs need to look at it and be like, they're just strong, but not every time they go shoulder to shoulder it's a foul. So I think it's a part of us being able to go to the officiating and be like before the game saying, hey, just be like, you know, keep an eye, like just how we talk about like set pieces about, hey, people like to pick, just kind of giving them a heads up, but then also kind of using that at our advantage. If they know that they're going to go extra hard on Rudy, maybe use that as a deception to spin off of them. So I think she's still learning like about how strong she really is and trying to get into this game. But yeah, I think that's something we can.
Speaking of set pieces, what's just been missing from the ones you guys have had in these last couple matches? Just missing that pass here just by an inch here or there. What do you think's the difference there, Rachel?
Yeah, I mean, I think we're getting right in there. Like today, the ball dropped right in the 6-yard box. It's just like getting a bounce our way or not, and you know, just having the determination to like run through the balls and get on the end of them. And so, yeah, we need to do a better job of getting there first and getting our head on it first, or when it drops, getting our foot to it. But yeah.
All right, Marissa?
Yeah. How do you guys kind of just approach these last 4 games? You guys are still mathematically in the race. Obviously, the organization's kind of like forward-looking a little bit with some of the changes coming and everything. So how do you guys kind of stay focused on this season and just kind of how are you approaching that?
Yeah, with everything going on, this team has always been positive, looking forward. And we are treating this week not like every other week we've been having this season, and a lot of things haven't been bouncing our way, but something special about this group is that we come together, we concentrate now on our next game, and we're concentrating and excited about getting those next 12 points ahead of us.
Yeah, for both of you guys, there's the news that Brady's going to be stepping down. What do you think of what she's done for this organization?
Yeah, I mean, she's been a huge part of it from the start, and we're very grateful for everything that she's done in the role that she was in. She was a great leader and had done a lot for the club.
Yeah, I think just looking back at from just the beginning of just the starting a whole new team, Oracle game, the groundbreaking, she's been part of a lot of pivotal points in this club. And the thing about this club is that just because she's not with us, I think we can still, communicate, and she has so many great ties. So, yeah, it's been great to have that relationship.
As you guys have been around these 2 years, now when we'll talk about a new phase, leaving the start of phase, what does that mean, to you guys as players when you look toward the future of this?
Yeah, I mean, I think we can feel it. Like, coming into an expansion is really hard with nothing built, and so I think that we feel a foundation below our feet now, and that it gives us that confidence to build upon it, whereas coming in you have nothing. And so I think it's just having that foundation beneath us gives us the confidence each and every day that we are going to take steps forward from here on out, and that there's still a lot to work on and to improve on, but we're making those little steps every day now.
Yeah, and I think just changing that mindset of like, we're not just a startup, we're not just like a new team. Now we're just another team in the league, that things are not going to go away just because we're a new franchise, that now we're in the growth phase. So now we're just building our identity. Now we have that culture. Now you can see we're building a facility. So everything's coming together, and I think you can see that.
Did it feel like a startup these past 2 years?
I mean, yeah, I mean, the first day of preseason, we had like 40 girls that didn't know each other, and we had to kind of get to know each other on and off the field within 5 weeks and put a team together. And new staff, everyone's trying to know each other's roles. So, yeah, it definitely felt like it. And you'll see the 2 teams coming in next year just going through that process as well.
Yeah. And, sorry,
No,
Ryan,
go
but
ahead, go ahead.
Rachel, you talked about growth. What does growth look like for this team?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot. I think to focus in on us as players, it's defining like who we want to be as a team, how we want to play, like what are we going to define ourselves as. And I think that we've started that, but I think, yeah, in this next growth phase, it's like really planting those roots of like, this is what we're going to be known for going forward.
Chris, your thoughts?
Yeah, I think that now that we have like a sturdy team, that consistency, now really developing of who we have on this roster, because we know who we have. I think with the new coach coming in, just bringing out the best in us, taking time to develop our players and that connection and longevity. The people that want us to be here are going to be here and give everything we have. So.
Brian, we'll close out with you.
It's been a few games, but how did the players on the field, even on the bench, feel when you finally saw 55 getting into that game today?
Oh, we were so excited. We definitely missed Penelope. It was so unfortunate that she got injured because she was on fire. She brings so much, not only goals, but she brings that feisty tenacity on the field. She's gritty, and I think we truly miss that side of our team because we feel off of that. And we've seen how it really hurt her being off the field and watching these past games, and she's been working so hard, even in her boot. So I was so happy, and I just told her just to like have fun out there and enjoy the moment.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks.